The general is as good or as bad as his troops under his command makes him. No general has ever won any battle by destroying his own troops. Coming up. Tensions are rising in the economic freedom fighters as they are preparing for elective conference in December. There have been a lot of divisions as some of EFF members are siding with Godrich Garde, and some of the members, of course, are siding with Mbuyiseni Ndlozi. Unfortunately, one EFF member, Mphahlele, took it too far by criticizing the CIC of imposing Godrich Garde on them, while the branches, EFF branches, prefers Mbuyiseni Ndlozi. And the CIC didn't waste time, but he expelled the guy. Yep. Check this out.
Internal squabbles appear to be emerging as the EFF's elective conference draws closer. Limpopo Student Command member Mphahlele was shown the door after his heated exchange with EFF leader Julius Malema on the social media platform X. This is understood to be over the leadership nominations. The expelled member joining us now for an understanding of exactly what happened. Mr. Mphahlele, good evening to you, and thank you very much for your time. Before we get into the nub of the conversation, I just want for us to give the viewers the context, and I'm going to ask my team to put up the tweet that is supposedly the one that was put up by yourself. And the understanding, first of all, I just want to get from you whether the Twitter handle, or in this instance is now called X, is the handle at Absolute Khanki your X handle?
Absolutely.
Okay, and based on that, therefore, I think the print on the screen there might be a little too small for the viewers to read, and so I'm going to read directly from my phone so that they are able to understand exactly what was written in that tweet. You say, and I quote, "CIC Julius Malema is not a National People's Assembly superdelegate. He must not dare try to impose Godrich Garde as the EFF Deputy President. We don't want Godrich Garde. We want Mbuyiseni Ndlozi as branches. Julius and all his deployees must not dare start a war with branches. War is a very difficult thing."
Kukhona ingoma engingayiculanga la. Ngifuna ukuyindlalela le ngoma because I don't want it to be misunderstood. We want to say in the light of Americana, let's not be provoked. Those who are starting war is a very difficult thing. Ungayijahempe, 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 ungayijahempe. Thank you very much, Makabani.
What made you write these words on that post?
What made me write these words is the fact that, and by the way, thanks very much for having us, and I'm glad you are better than the journalist of Face of the Nation. What made me write these words is because of the fact that the NP guidelines came out and they were very clear to us to say, comrades, go and campaign at branches. Avoid this thing of campaigning on social media. You are going to end up fighting, and that thing is going to make it appear as if they were fighting in the party.
Yeah.
People are going to use internal divisions of the party, and things will be going to media. You'll have media houses using those, again, you'll have GNU media houses using those divisions as if, portraying it as if the party is divided. So let's campaign at branches. Okay, it's fine. We get surprised. The provincial chairperson of Mpumalanga, Komisar Colin Sidibe, pronounces Godrich Garde. He says Phakama, to say rise. This is rise in politics. And why do you rise? You rise up. If you're in the standing committee, you must go to the executive. If you're away, you must just go up. Okay, we ask ourselves, what kind of, isn't this violation of NPA guidelines? Komisang Kulile Godinga post the same man. This one of a member of parliament, Sipholile, post that that chap. Yana, he says, hear me out. What must we hear out? It's a campaign mood. We say we must hear that you are on the side of Godrich, because there are 3 comrades who are rumored to be standing for deputy president. It's Komisar Vuyani, Komisar Mbuyiseni, and Komisar Godrich. So the problem that we had is that the commander-in-chief now is reposting or retweeting all those posts. Right. And we see that thing as an endorsement.
If you ask me about this whole decision, I believe that the CIC was a bit harsh here. I believe that the decision was a bit draconian. I believe that disciplinary action should have been taken against him, but not expulsion. I think expulsion is a bit draconian. It's really a bit harsh. Number 2, you cannot, as EFF leaders, put a policy to say, guys, whoever wants to campaign, you guys must campaign on your branches, but not on social media. Then you turn and do the very same thing. You go on social media and endorse a certain figure or a certain person. I think that is a problem right there.
And
we see it as an endorsement.
Okay, all right. And so this is why you decided to go and mention his name in this way on social media. He then responds and says, in 3 words, "Try me, boys." That was his response
Absolutely.
To your tweet. What happened from that point on?
I took that response as a manner of saying, here now we're being silenced. We're being silenced now. So we have 2 options: to submit to the will of God or to fight. And we're not going to submit. We fought. And with our responses, we said, we're very clear, and we meant every word we said. If there is anyone in this world who thinks they are powerful, they are not. They are lying to themselves. If they think they cannot be touched, they are lying. Some of us are still on our way, and we're going to touch them. We're very young and we're patient with ourselves. Indlela ndlela esihambayo. Washu uNdlozi kubalandeli bakhe wathi sohlangana nge-NPA, which translates to say it's a long journey that we're traveling. Mbuyiseni said to his followers that we'll meet at the NPA. So that's what I said. Immediately after that, things went absolutely south. I received a love letter from the EFF Students Command.
Mm-hmm. You got expelled at 11:30 in the evening.
Yeah.
What is the reasoning on the letter? Does it go into any detail?
Yeah, it talks about me putting the organization into disrepute, defining myself outside the organization, disrespecting the leadership, all those sort of things.
When you look at what has happened to you, do you believe that independent thought and freedom of expression is something that is encouraged in the EFF, or do you believe that there is no internal democracy, as some parties would claim?
I would say what they're trying to put up a situation where they say all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others.
So it's clear that you see Mbuyiseni Ndlozi as someone that the youth in the party should look up to because, as you put it, he is young. If you believe that Mr. Malema has a direct interest in Mr. Ndlozi, possibly, and I'm very careful with my words, if you believe that Mr. Malema believes that Mr. Ndlozi is not ready to be the deputy leader of the party, is there a future for Mbuyiseni Ndlozi inside the EFF?
I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking, because one thing that I can tell is that rumors on the ground have it that the reason why Comrade Julius is not preferring Kommissar Mbuyiseni is simply because, remember, if the formation of the EFF at the founding table, the likes of Abu Kommissar Mbuyiseni, they were brought by former members like Floyd, Shivambu, and Andile Mditama, who were both schoolmates of Comrade Mbuyiseni at Vets. So he feels like Mbuyiseni is having a split loyalty. he might jump ship. So it's better to guard the revolution with people he is sure with that no matter what, with all trials and tribulations, they're not going to jump ship.
Whoa, whoa. That is a big statement right there. That is a biggie right there. The reason why CIC treats Mbuyiseni Ndlozi the way he treats him is because Mbuyiseni Ndlozi was brought to EFF by guys like Floyd Shibambo and Andile Mtama. And both of them have left EFF. Oops. And that CIC thinks that Mbuyiseni Ndlozi might have a split loyalty with one foot in EFF, another foot with Floyd Shibambos and Andile Mtama. And they are both in the MK. Ooh. Then no wonder why CIC is having sleepless nights about Ndlozi.
So it will depend on his loyalties, where his loyalties lie. Because another thing that they say is that you cannot count on someone who's not with us spiritually, or his soul is already out, he already wants to leave. When the party's been attacked, he doesn't defend. Those are the arguments on the ground.
I believe that if Julius Malema loses Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, I think Julius is going to lose more people than he lost with Floyd Shibambo. Guys, Mbuyiseni Ndlozi is a powerhouse. The guy is an influencer. Look at what he did with the universities, all the universities, the UJs, University of Venda, and all these other universities. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi is a powerhouse, guys. You remember this?
They leave this campus, they know that freedom is in my hands. I am the freedom that I have been looking for. I am the CEO that must provide jobs. I am the CEO that must solve the energy problems of this country. Black child, open your brain. Make sure that you are not enticed. Batswadi ba rona ba enticed wakadi food parcel. You can't be a generation that sells a vote. You can't be a generation that says t-shirt in exchange for vote. Don't let anybody intellectually undermine you like that. It is the greatest intellectual insult. A vote must be based on a proposition about the future. What is your program of action? That's what the vote means. And we must carry this intellectual project even when we are at home, even when we are with our people at home, in our communities, in our villages. So, we are requesting, get in your WhatsApp groups, get in your Twitter, on your Facebook, before you even leave here. Help us to spread this gospel. On Wednesday, we are voting the EFF-SC. It must be so fashionable. We must make sure that it becomes so fashionable to vote the EFF that even when your boyfriend at low checker after the class, or a baby, before you get a kiss, who are you voting for? That's how fashionable it must be. Because it's called summer yellow t-shirt. If we do not beat up the yellow t-shirts in campus, they are going to come back in 2024 and it will be business as usual. You must make it fashionable to vote for the EFFSC, all the corners of the University of Johannesburg. We are requesting, give the EFFSC another chance in the Student Representative Council. In APK, in Doornfontein, in Soweto, let us declare these campuses to be campuses for the red economic emancipation movement. Let us declare them campuses of the EFF. So we're depending on you to spread the message. Spread it everywhere. And remember, every vote counts. Every vote counts. So let me see the hands of all those who are voting the EFFSC on Wednesday.
mongameli ngabe sezikhundla uma singayibona igoli zamabhare ukuthi azoshaya ibingamile bithathu
Ndlozi, guys, is a political psychologist. This guy, look at what he does with AMA 2000s. Look at how he hooks them into his speech. The guy is an influencer of note. I don't think that Godrich Garde can be able to pull this out.
When you wake up, let's make voting the EFFSC fashionable. We request you to go on Twitter, to go in WhatsApp, to go on all social media platforms. Let us request our fellow students to vote for the EFFSC. It must be so fashionable that the boyfriend Yakuna figures of checker tonight at Sunnyside there. You say before we kiss, who are you voting tomorrow? That is how fashionable it must be. Hated and rave. Manta! Away to Maibuye! Africa! Maibuye! Batia Zania! Solitat! Gepazoga! From
Malema knows what's good for him, he should at least make sure that he puts Ndlozi in EFF top 6. That's my viewpoint. He might not be a deputy, president, but put him somewhere in the top 6. I think that could calm a situation in the EFF. So if you were to ask me about the whole situation, guys, right now EFF is holding with a threat, and that threat is branches. If Malema continues his arrogance with branches, if he offends branches, if he mistreats branches, God help him. God help him. What do you think? Let me hear your comment below. And of course, if it's your first time, don't forget to subscribe.